First things first, we heard from the January 6th committee yesterday. You all have a lot to say about it. They laid out new evidence that Donald Trump demanded then VP Mike Pence to join what they say was his illegal efforts to overturn the 2020 election. We also heard how close Pence came to danger that day, with these new photos showing him in a parking garage under the Capitol, just steps away from the angry mob. We also heard about a phone call between Trump and Pence on that day. Here's what Ivanka Trump testified about it.
When I entered the office the second time, he was on the telephone with who I later found out to be was the vice president. The conversation was pretty heated.
Other details about that phone call included the president calling Mike Pence a quote-unquote wimp and another term for a female body part. We're on daytime TV. I cannot say it, but you know what I'm referring to, in reference to his refusal to go along with Trump's plan. Now, former President Trump is now hitting back on his social media platform. He demanded equal TV time to set out his case for election voter fraud and called the hearing a, quote, highly partisan witch hunt. What do you think about Trump's response and what all went down and how close Pence was to imminent danger?
I mean, as we go through these hearings, we keep looking at the timelines and how close just senators in general, Mitt Romney was to who knows what. These people had zip ties. They were not messing around there. When we start talking about Mike Pence, I believe that he should be isolated and also elevated for what he did, because if he decertifies that election and throws it back to the states, especially states in which there were some rogue factors there that may have changed the results, I don't know if we ever have another election again. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic about that, because once we don't believe in elections, we can't go back from that. If we all decide in this room we're going to have elections about whether we're going to have pizza or Chinese food, and you feel like 2 straight times there's been more votes, but yet we had the food that people didn't vote for, you would lose credibility. If we have that in this country, then what are we? We're a democracy, so once we don't have votes anymore, Tori, we're just a landmass with people.
I agree with you. He single-handedly saved America that day, single-handedly. I'll tell you another detail. They said the Secret Service were like, get in the car, we need to leave. He said no. If I leave, the transfer of power, Mike Pence says it will stop. He stayed in that underground thing for 4.5 hours until he walked back up and certified and said, let's get to work. I don't like very much anything Mike Pence does. He single-handedly knew what to do that way. But let me just tell you, 40 feet is what they said. He was 40 feet from the rioters, and they were yelling, we're going to grab you. We're going to pull you out and bloody you. We're going to hang you. And this was right after.
Is that a direct quote?
Direct quote. And this is literally from January 6th. They have footage, and then it went to Trump tweeting at that moment, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what he should have done, and they said the surge started, and that's when they had to get him underground. So they're comparing it to the tweets as if that was part of the conspiracy to continue the violence. So it was an amazing day.